Hey guys, what's up? It's optiprimecosplay and it's time for another installment of my Friday review segment. And before I get into this review segment, if you like the art on my shirt, which is the piece known as Meowlepolitan or Ice Cream Kittens, I recommend you check out the art by my friend. He's on Instagram as Dungeonwares, and I absolutely adore my t-shirt and every other piece of art I own by him, so please check that out. Anyways, going into today's review, I am reviewing the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. This is a Hunger Games novel. It is actually a prequel that follows President Snow well before he was a president, during the events of the 10th annual Hunger Games when he is 18 years old. The book gives a great insight and gives a very deep character development, because originally when you're watching the Hunger Games and you're reading it, all you can really think about is, man, I really don't like this character, and you know, he's pretty evil and he's pretty mean, and it's a basis that really you don't understand a whole lot of why. This book is a huge eye-opener into the character. He's in a academy and he is assigned a District 12 tribute, a girl named Lucy Bird, and she ends up being someone that he has to mentor through the games, and to see him with different characteristics than what we're used to is definitely a change, and it was pretty interesting. The only part I didn't like about the book is, you know, I was reading it and I was expecting, you know, to slowly see him develop, because when we start the book, he's actually a really nice character, so I was like, okay, we're gonna slowly see him develop into what we are used to in the Hunger Games. And while we did get to that, pretty much an explanation point about that in this book, it was, for me, entirely rushed. Spoilers ahead, I guess I should say that. I really need to warn y'all when I'm doing spoilers, like, way before I do. But spoiler ahead, so it was, we got to that point where we saw him shift into the character we know from the Hunger Games, as opposed to the character we begin reading about in this book. But it is pretty much all shoved into that last chapter in the book. And my issue with that is, instead of it being a slower development for me, because it was all shoved into that last chapter, it felt rushed. And it was not a slow, steady development as I would have actually preferred to have seen. The book was still great and I still loved it, but I definitely didn't like how rushed and shoved that all felt in that last chapter. But otherwise, this was a really good read. The novel itself is actually bigger than any of the separate Hunger Games books, because it covers a pretty wide range story. And it is actually split into 3 parts, and then you have the epilogue, which is actually a little helpful as well. The book itself is very enticing, and it's really interesting to read about a character we're used to in a different light when he's like way younger, and to see how different the Hunger Games were whenever you're like at the 10th annual Hunger Games as opposed to the 74th, like what we see in the Hunger Games, it's immaculate. And honestly, if you are a Hunger Games fan, this is a must read above anything else, because it's helpful to have character development. And what I'm noticing is prequel books are starting to become a thing, and I'm actually here for it. They help explain a lot of like pre-story things that definitely are very helpful to certain character developments, and I can actually appreciate it. So yeah, and that's basically my honest review. The book length is great and chapters are spaced out really nicely. They're written really well. I appreciated all of it. The little hints at certain future characters and stuff, you know, seeing certain ancestors and stuff, always a great thing. Again, the only downfall I had about the book was the main thing that I was expecting to see in this book was completely rushed and shoved into that last chapter. But otherwise, this is a must read for all my Hunger Games fans. So yeah, and again, I recommend you check out my friend Dungeonwares. I will link his Instagram in the description. You should definitely check him out. He's got an online store link there too. I don't think this shirt is for sale on his website. However, he does have either stickers or prints. I'm not entirely sure. One or the other of these, as well as all this other awesome art. And I'll link that in the description. And if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you give it a big thumbs up. I definitely love reviewing these books kind of in my own quick little way without trying to give too much away about it for you guys. And if you want to follow me on social media, I will link all my social media in the description, my Bookstagram, my cosplay account, everything else. Basically, I'm trying to do these review videos every Friday, if nothing else right now, because I really haven't done a whole lot cosplay wise, because weather's not been on my side, time's not been on my side, a lot of stuff really hasn't been on my side. But I am definitely going to try to do cosplay videos again soon. In the meantime, you get these awesome, or at least I hope they're awesome, review videos. I'm not just going to be doing books, but a lot of what I have to review here recently is my book reading. So until next time, I'm going to say bye. Remember to pick up a book. May the odds be ever in your favor. And you know what? I want to be interactive with you guys. If you are a Hunger Games fan and you've taken the quizzes, or even if you haven't, you're just assuming, what is your district? Leave me a comment. I am from District 4, y'all. So yeah, until next time, bye, and just keep being awesome.